Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the SMB Talks. Uh, Today, it's episode number 5. We have spoken to 4 awesome entrepreneurs, innovators, and wonderful human beings uh, across last 4 weeks. So today, I have another guest who is coming on board. He is he is late by 5 minutes. That's fine. We have. I need more than 5 minutes to introduce him anyway. So let me tell you a little bit about why did I start the SMB talks. Okay, the SMB talks. I'm a marketer and I am very passionate about small and medium businesses. The reason behind that is I have worked across organizations of various sizes in my life, but with SMBs, the enterprises or the bigger organizations, whatever cushions they have, whatever facilities they have, whatever budgets they have, these SMBs lack that, right? They don't have the big fat pockets to run a lot of ads or anything. Most of the SMB owners are used to wearing multiple hats, right? They have to run the show. They will be the salesperson. Also, most of them uh, handle marketing as well, right? So that's why I'm very passionate about SMB owners. I talk to a lot of SMB owners. I help them in whichever way possible. So that's why I started this show where I wanted to bring on entrepreneurs who are uh, passionate about their business and who have something unique to tell, right? Because every entrepreneur who has come on board, whether it is Manu from Gutch or is it Dr. Japnesh Chaturvedi, who was a celebrity in India, they all have a different story to tell. They have a different uh, place from where they operate, right? So all these things are what keeps me intrigued about their life. So that's why I started the show. I look forward to bringing a lot of good friends, a lot of awesome entrepreneurs and SMB owners onto the show, and pick their brain to understand what clicks makes them tick. Right? Let me just quickly check on my link. 1 minute, just a minute. I will be here shortly. Okay, just 1 minute. Right. So he missed the link apparently. That's fine. So today I will be talking to Mr. Vinay Singhal. I don't know whether I'm pronouncing it correct. He is the CEO of a platform by name WittyFeed, right? So it is one of the biggest viral content platform in the world. In the world. So he, his brother, and um, one more team member of his, they have built this platform from a Facebook page, right? So it's gonna be an interesting conversation. So I'm just waiting for him to join and check out wittyfeed.tv if you have got some minutes and check that platform out. A lot of interesting content, right? So why I wanted to bring Vinay on SMB Talks is not because of his famous platform or his uh, uh, you know journey, but because of the kind of person he is, right? For example, he today, if you look at social media or you look at any digital space, there is too much of negativity, right? Negative news, fake news. The other day I was on Twitter and I had to have an altercation with a guy who was abusing some weird person on Twitter. So we get pulled into this negativity without even aware of it, and we it affects you badly. Too much of negativity. So Vinay is a person who believes in the power of positivity, right? So he wants to bring positive influence, and he's very big fan of making people laugh and happy, so his entire premise from which he operates is based on that, right? So that's how he has grown this company. That's why he started his origin story, which you will hear from him in some minutes. I am waiting for him to join me. So his starting point of his entrepreneurial journey was that, right? Spreading happiness, bringing smile onto people's faces, right? So he is doing is based on the most successful platform he and his team has built, right? So he is here finally. So let me bring him on.
Hi,
Hey,
Vivek.
Vinay. So good to see you. So good to see you.
So good to see you as well. So good to see you as well.
Right. So you said some emergencies. Everything okay?
Yeah, everything all right. Just a friend that I was speaking to on phone. Some stuff.
Okay.
All good.
All good. All good. So you peaceful in Indore right now?
Yes, absolutely. I landed in Indore this weekend. I mean, and I'm glad I did because it seems like it's all going crazy in Gurgaon all over again.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes. Yes.
hearing some of the recent news kind of makes me happy that I came back to Indore in time.
Right. Right. My wife used to work in Indore. I heard it's a very. I've come to Indore once. Very peaceful place, right?
Extremely, very peaceful, very clean. You know, with a feel of with the benefits of tier 2 and a feel of tier 1.
Very
That's what
nice.
it is. So it's a nice
Very
city,
nice.
very
Right.
beautiful.
So I was just introducing you to the folks who will be watching us later and now also. So when I just asked you, I've been following your work for a little while, and I always wanted to be, connected to you. That's how I found your Twitter. So kind of you to accept my request and come on the show. Number one. Number two, when I told my friends that you are coming onto the show, it gave me a revelation that you're a mini celebrity, if I'm not wrong.
अरे क्या बात कर
People,
रहे हो नहीं
no,
that
seriously, I had a friend of mine telling that, "Arey, he's such a good guy. You should
अरे
talk to. You love him." So I was so happy. Last week we had a celebrity again. We had Dr. Jagdish Chaturvedi on the show. Fantastic session. So I'm
that's
so
definitely
happy.
a celebrity. I'm not.
Yes, you are so humble. So anyway, so I have the reason why I bring people like you onto the show is because everybody is going through a tough time. SMB struggle a lot, and a lot of youngsters also are struggling about what is next. What lies ahead. So we try to bring people like you to hear your story, get some inspiration out of it, get some advice from you, and a lot of other questions, personal questions also come in between. So I have curated some questions for you. Uh, as I was telling everybody that your entire journey to the one of the biggest platforms next to Facebook, obviously, started with a interesting story, a backstory. So it all started from a Facebook page. So can you tell us a little bit about that? It's so interesting.
Yeah, it's now 8 years ago that it happened. So it's been a long time now. We were in our college, and one fine day, I think all of us were sitting, and we were like, yeah, कि we were just scrolling through our Facebook feeds, and we were like, यार इतना negative content क्यों आता है सोशल मीडिया पे पूरा टाइम? Why do we see, मतलब टीवी पे देखो, न्यूज़पेपर में देखो, सोशल मीडिया पे देखो, everywhere it's all negative. Why is that? It's all negative. So the quest started that is it that the world has all negative now, or is it that negative gets more traction? So we started to look a little deeper into it. I think that turned into a brainstorming session overnight. And what we realized was that there is more good in the world than bad, for sure, even today. It's just that negative by default has fear embedded in it. And fear is something that we are genetically wired to spread, to share.
Right.
So if you go back to our primate instincts, and we are by default wired to alert everyone when we see something wrong. So which is why negative and media loves negative, because that gets them TRPs, that makes them viral, that brings everyone to watch it, and डर से उनका धंधा चलता है basically. And which is when we realize that दुनिया में अच्छा तो बहुत है, तो can we just focus on the good in the world. And so we ended up starting a Facebook page which was named Amazing Things in the World. The very simple, very obvious name, right? कि भाई, whatever is amazing in the world, let's share that. It can be people, it can be things, it can be science, it can be places, it can be people and animal, whatever. मतलब, anything that makes you happy, anything that has a positive essence to it. And I mean, I'm glad that we had that brainstorming that day, we had that thought that day, because that is what became what we are today. I mean, so I have a lot of gratitude for that day.
I know, I know. But actually, I'm pretty sure your audience, even me, we are all grateful for that day, because otherwise, WittyFeed would have never come across, right? Okay, so you started a Facebook page. I've been researching on you. I've seen that it has reached 4.5 million people followers on that page. Is that correct?
4.5 million people. Billion
Million.
is the wrong word. Huh? 4.5 million for sure. Yes. At
Right.
its peak, it was 6 million people on that Facebook page. But
Right.
we do have a billion number also. At WittyFeed, in its lifetime, we have touched more than 1.5, 2 billion people all across the world. Unique 1.5 billion people. And we have had that many people consuming our content somewhere in the overall lifetime journey of WittyFeed. So
Very
yeah.
nice. Very nice. So, is that Facebook page alive now, or is it?
Not anymore. I mean, again, Facebook has their own policies and systems, and so it became victim of one of its policies at some point in time, few years ago. Not in recent times, but few years ago. But yeah, I mean, we owe everything to that Facebook page.
Right. So the Facebook page you started working on 8 years ago, and it went on for, I'm pretty sure, maybe a year or two. Then how come Witty Feed came into your brain? What was the trigger behind it?
So Facebook page was started in 2012. WittyFeed came in about 1.5 years later, in later half of 2014. I think what made us, there are a couple of things that we realized. Uh, one being, the number one being that um, uh, so that Facebook page made us realize the power of stories, right? So हमने वो सबने कहावत सुनी है that pen is mightier than swords.
Yeah.
And we saw it for the first time, like first hand. हमने देखा कि कहानियां कितनी ज्यादा ताकतवर हो सकती हैं. That there were people all across the world who were following that Facebook page, and they used to message us that there was a mother who messaged us telling that she uses our page as a bedtime story to her kids every night,
Wow.
right? So there was a lady who messaged us. She said that you helped me come out of depression, and now I am traveling world because of you. And there were endless number of stories that we were able to see day in and day out because of the impact that our stories were creating out there. So we realized power of stories, number one. And the second that we realized was that if content is king, distribution is god.
Okay.
It's content बनाने वाले बहुत हैं इस दुनिया में,
Right.
पर distribution क्रैक करने वाले बहुत कम लोग हैं.
Correct.
असली गेम distribution का है. You might, so for example, we might end up having an amazing interview right here,
Right.
but if nobody watches it, what's the point of having this interview?
Correct. Correct.
Right? It doesn't matter at all. So
Right.
मतलब वो, then it will matter just for the archive value of it. That's it.
Right.
Right? There's no other value that we will be able to drive. And the more number of people watch it, the value of this interview grows, the value of this content grows, right? The value of the story
Absolutely.
grows. So, I mean, the entire idea is stories are great, but their impact is amplified only when they are distributed to the right people at the right scale.
Right,
So,
right,
based on these two beliefs, I think the idea of WittyFeed was formed, and
right.
we built WittyFeed as the content hub. But in the background, we actually built world's first ever content affiliate network.
Okay,
It was
okay,
called Viral9, viral9.com. So the network was the idea was that we said if one Facebook page could reach to so many people, what if we could figure out a way to use the distribution of thousands of these Facebook pages and millions of these Facebook pages that exist. So we said anyone who had a Facebook page, come to us, sign up with our program. You will have access to all our content, share it with your audience, drive the traffic back to our website. We will monetize it and we will do a revenue share. So it became world's first ever organic stories affiliate network where you're not selling a product, you're not selling anything. You're just putting out good stories out there and still making money out of it. So we
right,
built that, and that is what became the secret sauce of WittyFeed's success over time.
right, right. So you hit upon what is the platform all about, but if somebody is new to WittyFeed, how will you explain the platform to them?
The
What how?
journey has evolved a lot actually from what we started. So we started with what I told you, right? Now, the idea was to put up positive content on the platform. It was back then, text was big, text listicle. That BuzzFeed format was very viral back then. And, we also did content in the same format. What we do, I think I would like to focus on telling you what we do today.
Okay,
And
yeah, yeah,
we
absolutely.
did a lot in recent times. Actually, last year we decided to build WittyFeed from scratch, and we decided to do it all over. What we have done is essentially, so we realized that the real impact of content and the audience to which we genuinely met we will matter by creating content for them is not American audience, is not the international audience, is not the India audience also, but the audience that really is going to care about what we create for them is the audience of Bharat in the entire
Okay,
India versus Bharat debate, right? And the way
right,
we define Bharat is basically everyone in India who is online minus the top 10%.
right,
So you and me are not Bharat, you and me are not among those people, but everyone minus us, basically, right?
right,
So it's around 450 million people who are TG. And what we realized was that, the kind of content products that exist for them today are all, products like TikTok, ShareChat, Hello, Bigo, like all these different apps, right?
right,
And all of these are UGC apps. And all of them, because they are UGC apps, because they are UGC platforms, they don't have control on the kind of content that goes on them and so on and so forth, etc. Right?
right,
We felt a need for a place where you create high quality content, premium quality content, and sensible content for Bharat. If today Bharat wanted to consume sensible, where would they go? They don't have a place to do that today, right?
absolutely.
And we decided to build that, which is where WittyFeed has pivoted now, where WittyFeed is essentially building. We have two products now, WittyFeed and Stage, and
Right,
overall both products solve for a common vision, which is building a premium and sensible content company for Bharat.
right,
That's the larger vision that we are solving for.
right,
WittyFeed attacks the information side of it, information facet of content, and Stage attacks the entertainment side of the problem. Whereas WittyFeed tries to do informative content for Bharat in their language, in their style, and through satire, through
right,
comedy, so that
right, right,
a lot of people can consume that information. So we do content on financial literacy, we do content on health and fitness, we do content around fake news, we do content around all such different things, but through
right,
satire and in very non-sophisticated manner.
right,
And on the other side, Stage, we are trying to build an OTT platform for Bharat,
right.
in a Netflix for Bharat, which is already live, which is world's first ever dialect based OTT. So बोलियों का OTT है वो.
Okay,
स्टेज स्टेज का जो कंटेंट है, स्टेज जो OTT है वो, इमेजिन ए नेटफ्लिक्स इन हरियाणवी, राजस्थानी, भोजपुरी, बुंदेलखंडी, Avdi, Mathili, Magai, all these different dialects, right?
Right, right,
So, stage is an OTT platform in dialects. So a true
right,
OTT for Bharat, a true Netflix for Bharat. So we're building
right.
that. Right now, stage is live in Haryanvi, and
Okay.
we have 2 lakh odd downloads. So doing good there.
Right, right. So it's all app based, or is it web? How does one access it?
Stage is all about apps. Stage is a pure OTT. You have to download the app. It's an Android app where you have to go download and consume the content.
Okay.
WittyFeed's content is distributed all across social media. WittyFeed is a media sort of a offering where
Got it.
we distribute this content for free to everyone on social
Okay.
media.
Right. And stage is how old? Is it a recent innovation of yours?
7 months, I think now. November 19 is when we went live. So 7 months in, one dialect we are solving for Haryanvi to start with.
No problem.
Yeah.
Not bad. Right. All right. So I've been when I was doing a little bit of research on WittyFeed, I saw so many accolades and so many milestones which you guys have crossed over the period of time. It has been covered in economic times and all that. So I know that there are so many, but can you share some of the most proudest? I know you live for making somebody happy, and you shared some testimonials where people overcame depression using the content of the Facebook page itself. So some closest to your heart accolades for VTF.
Yeah, it's like asking a parent to choose between their kids. So, frankly, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Right.
Uh, I think the entire journey has been amazing. It has been a roller coaster ride, and
Right.
frankly, if anyone were to give me a choice to go back and change something, I don't think I would change anything. I think it has been an amazing, completely regretless life, completely regretless journey, and I have enjoyed every second of it. So it has been fabulous.
Right. Right.
That's the entire life.
Right. I've watched some of your interviews where you talk about people, the importance of people, keeping the right people close to you, and things like that. It's very different actually, because you not normally hear people who work in such successful ventures talking about those kind of angles. So it was really refreshing for me. So my next question for you will be, I want to know what makes Witty Sweet special, right? Why this connect with audience, and why somebody should check out WittyFeed in the first place.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know about the second part, maybe because our product, maybe because our content, etc. But if I had to tell you the first part, what makes WittyFeed special?
Right.
The answer is very simple. We are a company with a soul.
Okay.
Yeah. So we I think we this company lives and breathes. There is a it's a living thing. We treat this company, we treat WittyFeed and the overall company as a living thing, and we give it the due we give it the due respect as a living being, right? And so every team member, every founder, everyone who is associated with us in any way, हमारे janitor से लेके हमारे founder के बीच में कोई ज़्यादा difference है नहीं. Founders do play the janitor role a lot of times, and the janitor plays, very important roles where they give awards to people, and all of that stuff happens in our company. So,
Right.
I think each of us are like an organ to that living being, and human body doesn't have anything which is extra. So,
Right.
एक movie है, which is called it's a Hollywood movie called Hugo.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah.
there's a movie called Hugo. It's one of my
Right.
really favorite movies. तो उसमें है ना एक डायलॉग है, वो बोलता है कि ये जो घड़ी है ना, इसका इसका हर एक पुर्जा important है. There is no extra parts in a machine. You
Right.
lose one part and it doesn't work.
Right. Right.
So it's like that, right? So everybody who is part of WittyFeed is like a part of a large machine, a large living being, a body, and there is no appendix in our system.
Right. Right. That's. I'm telling you, it's like
You know,
really.
it may
Yeah.
be a very it may be a very different and unique perspective that you would be hearing about employees, but
Yeah. Yeah.
that's how we look at them. That's how I personally look at everyone.
Exactly, because it's very rare to hear from Indian company founders or people who are heading Indian organizations talking like this. I know organizations like Buffer, they have they are the most ethical company in the world, I believe. They have very open policies and things like that. Everybody works from home, remote. Now we are all working remotely. They've been doing it forever. So my next question: even though everybody is important, there are two people who are really important. One is Shashank and one is Parveen. So what can you tell about them? I know they I've seen their interviews as well. What kind of role they play and how big of impact they had on the idea and things like that.
I think I think I think if Vatsana and if our company WittyFeed is a living being and each of us are like an organ to it, I think if I am an individual, if as an individual, if I exist, that's because Shashank and Praveen exist. It's like that. It's so I think I'm so dependent on both of them for everything that I can't imagine not just this company but my personal life without them. I can't imagine a life without them. It's that much between us. मैं आपको एक छोटा सा उदाहरण दे देता हूँ कि हमारी रिलेशनशिप कैसी है and I think that's the biggest treasure we have and that is
Right.
why it works also. So there was a book called Super Siblings जिसमें the writer is an amazing writer. She was covering Preeti. Her name is I think her name is Preeti. She was covering siblings who had done good stuff together. उन्होंने कुछ success पाई है life में. She got in touch and she wanted to cover मेरी और प्रवीण की story वो cover करना चाह रही थी. She got in touch with Praveen. So she said कि I would love to write about both of you the person. उन्होंने बोला मैडम भाई तो हम तीन हैं. She said नहीं नहीं सिंगल and then Vaishnav. मैडम भाई हम तीन हैं आपको लिखना हो तो तीन के बारे में लिखो नहीं तो आप कोई और स्टोरी ढूंढ लो. So, and I would really appreciate and thank Preeti for actually agreeing to do a story. She did a special chapter about us, which is the last chapter of that book, which is Brother from Another Mother. The chapter name is Brother from Another Mother.
Very
So
nice.
I think that's the story. That's the relation. The Touchwood Bhagwan na kare kisi ki nazar lage. I am a little superstitious. So I think they're, they are the biggest treasure and मतलब वही चलाते हैं कंपनी. मैं तो ये सब इंटरव्यू करता रहता हूँ ऐसे बातचीत करता रहता हूँ वही चलाते हैं कंपनी.
Right. So what are their roles exactly? One of them is CTO. I know.
Shashank takes care of tech for us. He's the CTO of the company. He's also the people person actually. So आपने मेरे इंटरव्यूज में people वाला एंगल देखा होगा तो आप शशांक से बात करोगे तो it will be a very different level. So he actually takes care of our HR and all those things. He's the people person among us. Internally people person among us.
Right.
Praveen is the operations guy. He looks after content, overall content for WittyFeed and Stage. He looks after the operations of the company and finance for us. And I basically do nothing then. ये सब वो कर लेते हैं तो बाद में फिर मेरे पास ज्यादा कुछ बचता नहीं है तो मैं बस ऐसे घर में जो बूढ़े व्यक्ति का ज्यादा कोई रोल नहीं बचता है बस वो ऐसे दिखाने के लिए होते हैं. मैं वैसे दिखाने के लिए रहता हूँ.
I'm pretty sure that's the sweetest lie you can ever say. But anyway, so good to hear that three friends coming together. Two of them are real brothers and brother from another mother also, and doing good stuff. So it's very nice actually. Another question which I had was, you have been doing this for a while now. You have got funded multiple
10 years.
times.
We completed 10 years in May.
Yeah. So
And
and you now have a new product coming up. So what is the principle that drives WittyFeed? There are guiding principles basically.
बहुत सिंपल है कि हम तीनों फाउंडर्स एक चीज समझते हैं कि इस दुनिया में हम सबके पास लिमिटेड टाइम है. मतलब इट इज बेसिकली पुटिंग स्टीव जॉब्स वर्ड्स इन डिफरेंट वेज कि he said you have to look in the mirror and tell yourself that what if this was the last day, how would you live it, right? तो हम बस उसको थोड़ा हमने उसको अपना उसके ऊपर अपनी थ्योरी बनाई है कि यार all of us have limited time on the planet and then any rational person would go back and try to utilize that limited time and every day, every single second of that time in a way that you can maximize the impact that you end up creating on the planet. So
Right.
we understand that, and everything that we do at WittyFeed is connected to that.
Okay.
So tomorrow, if we were to be in a situation where we have to select between impact versus growth, we will go for impact. We have to select between building a sensible company versus raising money from an investor. We will choose a sensible company. So we're doing it for the kick of it, not for anything else. मतलब पैसे ऐसे के लिए करते तो 10 साल हो गए छोड़ देते यार. And there were enough times when there was no money in it. There are
Right.
probably even right now there are really tough times when there is money is a real trouble, and I'm sure we would make way more money than we make here if we go out and do jobs. So very clear. It is the idea is to maximize the impact of our lifetimes, and
Right.
whatever allows us to do that. Content is probably one of the most scalable tool to do it, which is why we are doing content, and which is why we take it stage.
Right. So I've heard this one of your TED talks or some interview where you're talking about impact on the stage. You're saying that our job is to impact more people's lives. So that's the whole goal. So I like that actually. Rather than focusing on means goal, you're looking at an end goal, if I have to put it that way. Right? All right. So my next question will be, what lies ahead for Witty? What are the future? Well, obviously, stage.com is there. But what
Stage.in.
stage.in? Sorry, I'm sorry. Stage.in. And what other things are, what can we expect from Witty going forward?
लाइक आई सेड आई थिंक वी मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि 10 साल में जाके हमें एक्चुअली हमारा विजन ढंग से समझ में आया है कि हम क्या करना चाहते हैं जो भी हमें समझ में आया है पिछले साल which is building a premium and sensible content company for Bharat. So you can expect us to do anything that is required for us to do and achieve that. So
Right.
we will not hesitate from doing whatever we need to do to achieve this vision, which is 1 बिलियन लोग हैं पोटेंशियली इस देश में, मतलब पोटेंशियली जो भारत का हिस्सा है, मतलब बाय द टाइम वी रीच एवरीवन हैविंग एक्सेस टू इंटरनेट एटसेट्रा इन इंडिया, बाय दैट टाइम आई थिंक वो इंडिया में भी, इंडिया वर्सेस भारत की स्टोरी में इंडिया में ग्रेजुएट भी हो रहे हैं बहुत सारे लोग. आई थिंक वी हैव पोटेंशियली 1 बिलियन पीपल that we can serve, and who will have a real impact in their lives because they will consume the content that we are creating. हमारा है ना बहुत बहुत ही सिंपल सा फंडा है कि यार कंटेंट जो है ना वो लोगों की कंटेंट न्यूक्लियर वेपन की तरह होता है. You can make electricity out of it, which is the cleanest form of electricity, or you can
Right.
make a bomb out of it, which is the most lethal bomb. दोनों
Right.
बहुत एक्सट्रीम्स हैं, राइट? तो
Right.
content ऐसा ही होता है. You can make, you can exploit people using content which is fake news, propaganda, IT cells, and so on and so forth, or you can use it to genuinely empower people and change their lives, make them
Right.
aware, raise aware societies. Societies that can question governments, question people, who have sense of right and wrong, who understand facts versus fake and all those things, right? तो
Right.
हम
Right.
हमारा हमारा अंडरस्टैंडिंग जो है वो ये है कि कंटेंट का फंक्शन एम्पावरमेंट होता है, एंड वी विल कंटिन्यू टू बिल्ड प्रोडक्ट दैट अलाउ अस टू empower people using content instead of exploiting them. So that's the future for us. अभी जैसे स्टेज के केस में we are right now in only in Ajanvi. In next quarter you will see us doing Rajasthani also. Then from there I think we will very soon start early next year. And ये थोड़ा COVID हो गया तो situations are little tight, but things when things start to go back to normal, you will see us start expanding into the entire Hindi belt. I think by the end of next year we should be able to cover the entire Hindi belt. 400 मिलियन की जो टारगेट ऑडियंस है उसकी, उसके सारे डायलेक्ट्स 10-12 जो मेजर डायलेक्ट्स हैं हिंदी के, आई थिंक हम सारे कवर कर रहे होंगे. So and like I said, we will be the true Netflix of Bharat.
Right.
With a sensible one. I would really recommend that you go and check it out, the app and the content, the kind of cleanliness,
Sure. Sure.
and still interesting. मतलब quality, premium, not sleazy, and still quality, still interesting, still something that holds. तो
Right.
ऐसा
content है. Same way WittyFeed में I think right now we have 6 weekly shows where we do 6 different topics, around information. We will continue to grow that. and I think we plan to launch between 8 to 10 new shows this year. God willing, if things go in the right direction, you will see lot more shows coming up from WittyFeed now.
It will. I'm pretty sure everything will be going as per plan. Obviously, I'll check all these things out because I'll be a big fan of this because I feel that in India, especially in our country, Bharat, India, what we need is a platform like this because there is a lot of negativity. Day before yesterday, I had a big altercation with a guy who was abusing somebody unnecessarily, and Twitter is filled with negativity. TikTok, I don't want to open that platform only, and things like that. So I think we need a platform like WittyFeed, to keep us all sane, thoda, So I love that idea.
We are fighting
All
against that same dumbness that you're talking about. मतलब वो जो dumbness of content है ना, that is जो generation TikTok देख के बड़ी हो रही है ना, वो generation basically we are raising a dumb society,
absolutely,
mindless
absolutely.
generation. And our fight is against that. We are saying that no, this audience deserves sensible content. This deserves content that can help them learn something every time they watch.
Right, absolutely. So I'm pretty sure everything will be, you know, uh, uh, everything will go as per your plan. I'm pretty sure about it because you have such clear intentions and very, what do you say, very, very, very pure intentions and goals. So I'm pretty sure everything will go as per the plan. So my next question is totally for you. Okay, I want to know what drives Vinay as an entrepreneur. You said that I don't do anything. I just sit here as a CEO. No, I am pretty sure not. That's not the case because you have
Course,
been a
yeah,
busy person.
काम तो बहुत रहता है, of course, but
Uh,
my job is all about मतलब in the company I think I look at product, so मैं product और revenue देखता हूँ, तो बाकी सब कुछ execution सारा शाम को विन के हाथ में है. And my
right,
job is then to talk to people,
right,
uh,
right,
keep the ship floating all the time. That's the
right,
idea, right?
right,
तो ये है. What keeps me drive, मतलब मेरे को है ना, so with me the thing is, मतलब I'm little too workaholic and little too crazy that I I I don't have that fine line between uh, Vinay as an individual and WittyFeed as a company. So
right,
I don't know if it's good or bad, but I don't think I have that line in me. So what drives me is what drives WittyFeed, and what drives WittyFeed is what drives me. तो
right,
वही है यार, मतलब लाइफ में ना टाइम बहुत लिमिटेड है. एंड यार मतलब आई थिंक वी हैव too short a life to work on something that doesn't, you know, give us a kick, something
right,
that doesn't spread positivity. मतलब मेरे
right,
को यार ये नफरत, नेगेटिविटी, मतलब growth at any cost, all these things I don't, मतलब I may not be a very VC likable founder, but I'm very aggressive, but I'm not this. I just
the
said.
right direction wala aggression.
हाँ यार, मतलब ठीक है ना, मतलब 2 रोटी कम खा लेंगे यार, बट अच्छे से करेंगे जो करेंगे वो. मतलब आई डोंट वांट टू, मतलब यार, we have only one planet, we have only one life, and all of these things are extremely important, right?
Right,
तो
right, absolutely.
अपने को अपने सपने बहुत बड़े बड़े हैं विवेक, लाइफ में बहुत बहुत बड़ा करता है. मतलब मैं एंड आई स्टार्टेड टू से दिस पब्लिकली. मुझे लगता है आई विल बिकम द प्राइम मिनिस्टर ऑफ दिस कंट्री वन डे. सो आई हैव वेरी स्ट्रांग पॉलिटिकल गोल्स. एंड
I hope that happens.
ठीक है. और दूसरा आई एम वेरी एक्साइटेड अबाउट स्पेस. तो मुझे, सो इफ आई बिल्ड अ कंपनी आफ्टर WittyFeed, इट विल बी अ स्पेस कंपनी, एंड आई नो फॉर अ फैक्ट दैट आई विल नॉट डाई ऑन दिस प्लेनेट. I will I will be living on Mars before within this lifetime. I know that for a fact. So these are all facts. These are all eventualities. This will happen when we. अब ये if it's not about if, it's about when. बस ये
Right,
दो
right.
चीजें हैं जो होंगी लाइफ में. एंड ये मेरे बड़े goals हैं. If I were to digress a little bit from your question and tell you about my life goals,
Right,
drive simple. जो भी है वो करना इसलिए है क्योंकि इट शुड क्रिएट सम सॉर्ट ऑफ इम्पैक्ट ऑन द लार्जर सेल्फ. बाकी बिलियनर तो यार बहुत है दुनिया में, बिलियनर ये बन.
Right, right. Very nice, actually.
तो मेरा जो राइट बंदा है ना जिसको मैं so पूरा इंटरनेट और स्टार्टअप की दुनिया यूजुअली इट इज डिवाइडेड बिटवीन स्टीव जॉब्स एंड बिल गेट्स, राइट? देयर इज अ आई एम अ बिल गेट्स सॉर्ट ऑफ अ पर्सन. So I would like to, and Abhi Bill Gates is in a lot of controversy, unfortunately, and unnecessary controversy. But I follow him. I think I would like to be like
He's an amazing person.
Elon
I was
Musk mixed with Bill Gates.
to be honest with you,
It's a Vinay Singhal.
I've never heard anybody saying that I will not die on this planet.
I'm very sure about that. देखो ये सपना तो वैसे ही पूरा हो जाएगा क्योंकि एलन मस्क ने इंश्योर कर दिया यार. अभी यहाँ धरती से बाहर जाके स्पेस में तो मतलब वो तो इतना स्पेस टूरिज्म तो बहुत ही ऑब्वियस हो गया है, राइट?
ऑब्वियस हो गया.
लास्ट वीक वी सॉ दैट. तो स्पेस टूरिज्म इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी वेरी ऑब्वियस. मार्स तक भी पहुंच ही जाएंगे. एलन मस्क जैसा क्रेजी आदमी लगाया एंड आई विल बी ऑन दैट मिशन. आई विल बी सपोर्टिंग हिम ऑन दिस मिशन once I succeed at WittyFeed and stage. So,
right. Maybe you can start a Indian subsidiary of SpaceX. You never know.
India is probably the best country in the world to start a SpaceX.
Okay.
I think we have the right talent, we have the right engineers, we have the right environment for it because space is extremely costly. We can make it cheap because we make everything cheap.
Yes,
we can actually make it. Space की जो सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम उसको हम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं बहुत बड़े लेवल पे.
Right. All right. Very interesting, actually. Very interesting for me. So my next question.
आपका मार्केटिंग का एपिसोड करना है तो पता नहीं ये क्या एपिसोड होगा.
I know यही चाहिए मेरे को. It's not about marketing. तो हर कोई बात कर लेता है ना. But ऐसा कौन बात करता है? So this is important.
आपने सोचा कंटेंट मार्केटिंग वाले बंदे को लेके आ रहा हूँ. कंटेंट मार्केटिंग पे बात करेंगे. बात हम कर रहे हैं स्पेसएक्स की और कहाँ प्रधानमंत्री बन रहे हैं बताओ.
I seriously I hope मतलब बुढ़ा होने के पहले आपको मैं प्रधानमंत्री देखूं. स्पेस का तो मुझे पता नहीं लेकिन ये तो हो ही सकता है.
Vote for me.
अगला क्वेश्चन. The thing is you have already shared lot of good wisdom, not like ऊपर की बात है. Real things. Our time is limited and things like that, which makes हमने सब सुना हुआ है, but we don't follow that. अपना back of the mind में वो रहता नहीं. We get into office, we forget that. We get into car traffic, road में traffic, we forget that. But if you have to give some advice, some which you follow maybe for budding entrepreneurs, जो youngsters है, जो अभी भी वो 10 साल पहले वाला फेसबुक पेज पे बैठा हुआ है, उनके लिए आप क्या बोलोगे? What advice will you give?
मेरे लिए ना लाइफ में मैंने अपार्ट फ्रॉम ऑल द थिंग्स दैट आई जस्ट टोल्ड जो चीज काम करी है ना एक वो है परसिवरेंस. तो मैं तो यही बोलूंगा भाई नोबडी हैज मेड यू चूज दिस पाथ. सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट बात ये मतलब इंडिया में पेरेंट्स आपको सब कुछ करने के लिए फोर्स करेंगे. एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप स्टार्टअप करने के लिए कोई नहीं फोर्स कर रहा. ठीक है. तो अगर आप कर रहे हो ना तो आप अपनी मर्जी से करो. तो डोंट यू फकिंग कंप्लेन एवर. ठीक है. And get on with it and just persevere no matter what. You have to keep going. मतलब building a company is not a one day job, 1 year job for that matter. मैं 10 साल से कर रहा हूँ पर मेरी बनी नहीं है अभी. 10 साल तो मुझे लगे हुए मेरी बनी नहीं है अभी.
Right.
I have days and months when I have to worry about my rent. So there are times like that. So 10 साल हो गए मुझे करते हुए और अभी भी बनी नहीं है. अभी it may take another 10 years.
Right.
But again, I think I love it every single day of it. And like I said, I will never ever regret it. And I will keep persevering even it takes me a lifetime. Even if it takes me a lifetime. Okay. Right. So yeah, I think the only thing that works in entrepreneurship is perseverance. बाकी सब कुछ आप ओवर द टाइम सीखते जाते हो सब कुछ होता जाता है. बट ये एक चीज है जो आप मतलब इट इज समथिंग दैट यू कांट मिस टू हैव एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर. You just have to have it.
और ये मतलब बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट है क्योंकि परसिवियरेंस इज समथिंग मतलब कुछ भी कर लो परसिवियरेंस को लगातार मतलब परसिवियर किसी चीज के लिए करना इज रियली रियली टफ मतलब ये एंटरप्रेन्योर्स और सक्सेसफुल लोग जब भी बोलते हैं कि परसिवियरेंस मतलब फिर भी आदमी को जब वो जो ताकत चाहिए होता है एम वक्त पे दैट इज रियली रियली क्रिटिकल सो दैट्स अ वेरी गुड पॉइंट सो आई थिंक वी हैव come to almost an end but I am not leaving any of my guests without this question. I want to know कि कोविड 19 ये पैंडेमिक जो हो रहा है इसका इम्पैक्ट क्या पड़ा आपका कंपनी पे व्हाट इज द इम्पैक्ट इट इज हैविंग ऑन यू
डबल एज स्वॉर्ड रही है मतलब दो सो डबल एज स्वॉर्ड नहीं देयर टू साइड्स ऑफ इट एक अच्छी एक खराब I think we are one of the very few industries who have been fortunate enough to be able to benefit out of this lockdown and COVID-19 situation because people were at home and content is what they were looking at. So we actually grew very, very fast. So from Fab at 30 million reach at WittyFeed, we grew to 150 million reach in April. 5 गुना का difference था 2 महीने.
My goodness.
That's a lot. 3 करोड़ से 5 करोड़ हो गई हमारी reach. And मतलब अभी मई में भी we will do 8-9 करोड़. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि वो ऐसे blotted थी मतलब it was a sustainable growth. मतलब अगर 30 से 150 मिलियन हुआ and if we fall down back to 80-90 million 100 million I think it's still very good number right तो वो रहा same way stage में I think our downloads have grown by मैं अगर फैब से मे की बात करूं अगेन तो वही 5 गुना का करीब करीब डिफरेंस है 40,000 डाउनलोड्स पे थे हम फैब में वी आर एट 2 लाख डाउनलोड्स नाउ तो काफी स्ट्रॉन्ग एंड मतलब ऑर्गेनिक ग्रोथ हैज बीन वेरी ह्यूज inorganic growth has been extremely cost effective all of those things
right
from a revenue standpoint first month was very bad April was really bad May has been good now May has been I think things are starting come back to normal क्योंकि marketing सबका hit हुआ है marketing मतलब economy is in a bad shape तो marketing कौन ही करे घर में जब छुपे बैठे हैं सब डरे बैठे हैं कौन marketing करेगा because our revenues comes from marketing इसलिए hit हुआ था but I think it's a very good time for digital as an overall industry we will have short term losses but in long term we are going to win in a big way my belief is that this is like a demonetization moment for digital industry
right
why because print is going to print जो slow death मर रहा था उसकी खत्म हो गई है वो print is not going to recover from this TV पिछले 3 महीने में नया GEC का कंटेंट ही नहीं बना है तो कोई उसको एडवर्टाइज नहीं कर रहा है राइट न्यूज़ इज द ओनली थिंग दैट इज गोइंग ऑन टीवी राइट नाउ
राइट
तो जाएगा कहाँ डिजिटल पे कंटेंट बनाने के लिए इतना एफर्ट नहीं लगता जितना इन लोगों को लगता है डिजिटल का कंटेंट कैन बी डन फ्रॉम होम लिटरली एंड हम बना रहे हैं सारा कंटेंट राइट लाइक WittyFeed जहाँ पे सारा कंटेंट ही मोनोलॉग ड्रिवन है वो बहुत ही आसानी से घर से हो सकता है हमारा सारा कंटेंट मोनोलॉग ड्रिवन है तो वो घर से हो सकता है आराम से तो डिजिटल इज गोइंग टू विन इन अ बिग वे ऑन अ होराइजन ऑफ 12 to 18 months तो अभी तो थोड़ा फर्क पड़ा है इम्पैक्ट हुआ है नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट हुआ है बट आई थिंक ओवर टाइम एक तो यूजर भी बढ़ जाएगा और फिर वो एडवर्टाइजिंग डॉलर भी अपने आप ही शिफ्ट होगा so it's all going to be good so we are a fortunate industry I would say in this scenario which is going to benefit out of this unfortunate scenario but fortunate our industry has been fortunate enough in this
yeah some industries will be emerging stronger from this actually that's what some of the companies are expecting also so that was good anyway the right time to finally figure out your bigger vision also maybe when this is all over, you'll be on a sprint
time to introspect all companies should do that all companies
right all right thanks Vinay thanks so much for your time it was such a pleasure meeting you virtually hopefully I'll meet you in person one day and obviously we'll be in touch over social media and things like that you take care of yourself and all the best for WittyFeed and other platforms and things like that take care
appreciate your time thank you so much for having me on the show had fun it was a fun one
thank you so much
take care bye
all right so that was Vinay Singhal I can't express how amazing this conversation was, right? Uh, Watch the video later. You guys will figure it out. Such a visionary, actually, I must say. Right? Such a positive person. And that's the whole point of this SMB talks. We want to meet the most positive people around, and we want to hear their stories and learn from them. So I'll see you next week with an entrepreneur who has brought so many awesome products for men. So that's the clue there. See you all next week. Take care, stay safe, stay healthy.